children taken by the state, her heart broke in two. But Brenda's got a fighting spirit, she knows just what to do. Brenda's fighting the government, standing tall and strong. Her husband's voice echoes in her, tells her to hold on. She's helping others rise up, even when hope seems small. In the shadows of injustice, she's breaking down the wall. Through the courthouse corridors, she walked with steady stride. With every step she took, she felt her children's pride. She built a podcast for the broken, a voice for those unheard. In each episode she speaks her truth, spreads hope with every word. Brenda's fighting the government, standing tall and strong. Her husband's voice echoes in her, tells her to hold on. She's helping others rise up, even when hope seems small. In the shadows of injustice, she's breaking down the wall. Rallies the forgotten, those lost in bureaucratic night. With every story shared, she's shining through their plight. Brenda won't be silenced, her will is like the sun. She's a beacon for the weary until the battle's won. Brenda's fighting the government, standing tall and strong. Her husband's voice echoes in her, tells her to hold on. She's helping others rise up, even when hope seems small. In the shadows of injustice, she's breaking down the wall.
Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, I always thought about being a singer. What do you guys think? I'm glad, well, maybe, who knows, you guys. Hey, I got my posters out here today. Now, I made these a while back. Actually, only used them a couple times, but I thought I'd bring them up for the show. Of course, this is my fight for Sage and Chris, and it says I like to post this on my emails and stuff like that. American families most wanted back home. See, I have good ideas sometimes, and of course, I did a whole video with that corrupt judges thing. It's kind of, she's at taking our children with no regard to human. With no, I don't know what is that. Is that cut off at some point? But killing the parents and the children. It's just a bad thing that's going on. And then of course I got my husband's picture up here. Whoa. And I also, this was my newer poster. And up here, this is cute. I always like this one. This is Chris, my youngest Chris. And actually, this one outfit he's got on, see right here? This is a funny story about that, because when we were living in Maine, and FBI came knocking on her door. All because I made a call to the Department of Justice, and or so they say. And then while they were there, well, it was one FBI agent, and it was a local deputy or whatever. And oh, and here we have it. This is Chris calling. I'll let him know we're live.
This is a prepaid call from
Listen to how he does that. Just to make me laugh every time he calls. He did a funny. He said I was looking around making sure, making sure everyone didn't hear him do that because it sounds pretty gay, but he's not gay. As you know, we have 5 children. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
And is subject to monitoring and recording.
In fact, the best people I've ever met were gay. Hey, I'm live. Are you? And you're coming in at the time that we're just getting started. We're having a coffee. How about you?
Oh yeah, I had my coffee this morning. Thank you. I love you, Brenda.
Okay, well, I was talking about you know what I started talking about for some reason, because I was looking at these pictures and stuff, how that FBI came to our house that one time back when we were living in Milford, Maine. Yeah, and was questioning and again it seemed to be questions about the films, and
they were explicitly about the YouTube films. That's all they were going on about. And you can see that on YouTube unless they took that off too.
It should still be there. I think that's on the Rogue Journalist Wars channel. But that's something that I think they long forgot about. They were more worried about that channel with American patriotism or whatever.
Yeah, that's when I said, I've been making movies since I was a kid with my dad's 8mm film camera and just enjoying myself making different kind of vampire movies, mummy, caveman movies, just having fun with my friends making silly movies, zero budget movies. And then the FBI guy says, well, I don't understand what you mean. I don't understand that. It's training films. I mean, how did you get trained? The idea of training films from kids having fun making films? Because it's fun to make films.
Right.
But I'm sure if they're $1 million, that's not too much fun for a detective to think use it brain all the way capacity. But no, but for me, it was just having fun. Zero budget movies.
Yeah.
And they don't like what they're saying. It's not about the high tech and graphics. It's about what words are being used in that movie. They specifically don't like a son of the American Revolution to make it seem like they're saying those words, but I'm not saying those words. When I said fuck Joe Biden in 2016, years before everybody else.
Actually, it was 2015 when you said that. Yeah.
Okay, I said fuck Joe Biden. It wasn't me saying it. I was reading the script. I can't brag and say, oh, I said that. I didn't. I was reading the script. And all of that's on there is rich script. It's movie. It's fiction. It's not real. And that's what the lawyer was saying to the judge up on the stand. He said, well, he didn't fit you in there. The judge actually said, well, that was my head. He hit me in the head with an axe. And I said, no, it was a cartoon. It wasn't her. The judge thought it was that. It's a cartoon.
Yeah. It's almost like it seemed like she was delusional, paranoid, all those things that come into play like that. And in my opinion, it's like she has something to hide. I mean, why is she going to get so excited about what Chris and Brenda Cameron are doing? Because there's so much trafficking going on in this country.
It's not what we're doing. It's what we're saying.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing getting done. We have no guns in our house. Nothing in our house. We don't even have attack dogs or any dogs whatsoever. There's nothing. No weapons in our home of any kind. No bows and arrows. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And they know this because they repeatedly searched our houses. Repeatedly searched them. So, and there's nothing in our system. They repeatedly checked our urine.
Right. And that's what we also will say is, well, why are they always looking up our buttholes? Okay, I'm sorry to say. Is that unpleasant to say?
Physically looking up your vagina, physically looking up my butthole. They've never found anything in the urine. They never found anything in the butthole. They never found anything in the vagina, but they continue to look else's, but they continue to look.
Right.
But
Exactly.
I love you very much. Love you, miss you.
I love you. All right. You gonna call back in a little while, or?
I see their pictures. They look great. I was looking.
Oh.
All right, yeah. So good. Love you, Brenda.
All right. Love you too. Take good care now. All right. So there you have it from the horse's mouth. So yeah, it's been a long road, and I was even thinking back even further to the early 90s when we kind of got a heads up from somebody that something was coming our way. It was kind of a weird situation because there was a sheriff back then, way back in the early 1990s, and that they were asking, let me put this back up on the chat so I can respond and stuff, but it was like they're asking, are we Kuma? I think I talked about this yesterday. Whatever the word, it's some kind of a group, like almost like a militia group or something like that. No, we're not part of that. I mean, we're Americans. We freely we're free thinkers. I mean, we're pretty normal comparison to a lot of people that we've seen out there, and I recently got some information that what Chris's case, the appeal has been filed. Thank God in heaven, because I'm noticing, like, every step of the way, God has had our back, even though, times have been pretty dismal, without your children, without any justice in the courts whatsoever. I mean, it's the little things you begin to appreciate. Like, say one day I was looking up and down for something, like you misplaced something. Let's say your keys to the car. But the best thing to do is stop looking, because and then you're going to another thought or another idea and say, oh, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this paperwork together, something like that. And then you open a drawer and you're like, oh, that's where that is. I'm opening the drawer, as you see is shaking. And this is the problem with this stand I'm using, because it's really an antique. And like I was telling Darren, my computer fell off there. Sorry, guys. I'm just blah, blah, blah. So anything going on with you guys? I mean, is anybody's got court coming up, anything like this? I mean, as far as Chris's case goes, who knows how long this appeal will take, right? We'll just and then I think, a lot of times with child protective services, even though even if you got to the point like we are, well, our rights have been terminated since January 2018, and then it just seems like CPS and Department of Children and Families and law enforcement have never left their investigations of us. It's just like we're constantly, throughout, it seems our lifetime has been a constant investigation of us. And again, like Chris says, it's just seems to be the words we're using is what's bothersome to them. Our freedom of speech is what's bothersome. And if our family wants to make some have fun making some videos with the kids and throw it up on YouTube, and maybe we add some humor into it, maybe some what do you call it, dark comedy, I mean, we're trying to make a light of a situation that's really really bizarrely insane. And I like those words that you're talking about. Often ones called crazy are the ones that are sane. Correct. Now, did any of y'all, I'm sorry to say, see this Joker movie? Okay, if you've seen the first one, okay. I know the second one got some bad reviews, but you know what they say about Hollywood and all that. I mean, the people that are brought up for these Oscars, I'm saying, blah, I don't like those movies anyway. But if y'all ever seen, I recommend Joker too, because the Folly one, to me, it was very inspirational with the music, but it's almost like mirrors what has been going on with me and Chris, because you have a person, okay, so supposedly the Joker is the bad guy, the villain, right? But when you dive a little bit deeper, because this those two movies that I can't remember the guy's name that did them. It's more of an origin story. Okay, it's an origin story. That means we're going to dive into the um, the life of this person and why this person became what he has. And you take a person that was abused as a child. Had a lot of things going on. His mom did horrible things. And it was like just a horrible life that he grew up with to begin with. So there's the beginning of mental health issues, and then you have mistreating by going out and into a public setting, and people are picking on you. And a lot of times this happens with autistic people. Like my daughter Sage is like, if somebody was like ever like at a table, a couple tables down or something, say you were at school and they're laughing about something, but she would take very offense to that, because she has the sense to know that these people are either mocking her or something like that. And that's a horrible situation. You see so many bullies out in this world. And to me, that's what you're getting a lot of with Child Protective Services, is you're getting that bullying mentality. And it's like, it's really horrible. If you think about it, it's like, how could this exist in our America, as the country we claim that is free? And you notice there's a lot of people that are well, waving those flags upside down, because I mean, we are the oppressed. I mean, we have something to say, and then no, we don't have like a lot of money to give you to say, oh, will you do our story, or can we be on your national news or something like that? You have to be a contributor, because I used to like do that. I had all these numbers for Fox News, and in fact, that Steve Ducey guy, way back when we first found out about this, like fusion exchange bulletin, that was a threat tag that was put on me and my husband, and really my entire family, is that this I was talking on the phone with Steve Ducey, and he'd be like, blah blah blah, and then he would be like, why would you do something like that if you understand what the consequences would be? It seems weird. It just seemed weird of his reaction. And then there was an email back and forth, and then of course they didn't want to pick up the phone anymore. But I always thought, Fox News, I thought that was a fun time. And then now his son's in there asking, questions as a White House reporter or whatever like that. And I think he does get in there and ask, the good questions. But I'm telling you, I got a lot of questions that nobody's answering. How about you guys? It's true. So what else is going on, guys? Sane world is all crazy. It's true. So yeah, to get back to that Joker movie, I mean, you could just say, okay, this person, okay, and there's a lot of people that have this. I've actually met some people in jail that had this, where you have uncontrollable laugh, like you get nervous and you start laughing. And I remember there was a guard that came by. The girl in my room had this condition, and she was really just like being so cruel to her. And it's just like this something that's a condition for a lot of people that they can't control. I mean, there's a lot of abuse going on in these jails and these prisons, and that's ultimately what that movie will show you, is the treatment of people that may have mental issues or something like that. I mean, I mean, it goes back to a lot of history. I mean, how many like insane asylums and things like that, where people were killed and abused and just constantly, all these things going on. It's a terrible situation, and then that's where you can compare it to Arcane Asylum, right? That's where all the villains end up going to this insane asylum, and then you look at the history. It's like, who is really the bad guy? Is it the Joker, or is it Batman, the guy with a lot of money, and a lot of control over things? So I don't know. You guys, you see the movie and think about it, but it's scary to me because it's almost like, I'm not gonna, no spoilers here, but guys, please watch the movie and enjoy the music throughout, because it's bringing back a lot of older songs, and I've watched it several times. Do y'all guys ever stream movies? Like, I use Putlocker, and you can stream these brand new movies that are coming out of the theater. Just do it on your computer. That's what we do. I don't know, Chris. And my sons and stuff figured out how to do this, and it's a great thing. I mean, you throw it on your big screen TV, and there you have it. You've got make your house into the theater and save some money, because these theaters are so expensive nowadays. But I do recommend, once, like, treat yourself. I mean, you have a lot of things going on in your life, a lot of you know, hardships and all these things going on with the kids. But don't forget to take time for yourself, guys. And at least once a week, you're going to take that time for yourself, treat yourself to whatever. I know my son, that's been our rock and support, has treated me to movies at the theater. And nowadays I'm like, what? They have these seats to kick up, and you can sit back and relax. Be careful, don't fall asleep though. I mean, you're paying a lot of money to go into this theater, but I mean, it's really nice to see the modernization of how it's progressed throughout the years. I was thinking, me and Chris been together a long time, but I guess I'm last of the. I was born in '65, so I'm kind of right on that borderline of being you know, um, I don't know. It just seems like a lot of it's either my friends that I have got along with, like friends, acquaintances, whatever, are either like 10 years younger than me or 10 years older. It's just like it's very common. It's like, do I have any friends that are my age? I don't know. I can't even think of any. I mean, it seems like another thing I want to talk about as well is, like, when this happens to you and your children are and taken, and your family is informed. I mean, your brothers or sisters or whatever, your parents, and a lot of times you're going to deal with you're going to deal with a lot of questions, and like, oh, well, you had to do something wrong. They just don't take your kids away. I mean, how many people have heard that? Veterans are full of dark humor. Usually only us veterans understood each other. Civilians think we're not normal, but you have to live it to understand it, and how to deal with life. Exactly. And deal it with life the best way you can. Be it through film or entertainment, or like me personally, I like to cook. I'd like to have, my dream is to have a food truck, because I like to cook, and it's almost like therapy for me to get in there and do it. But on the other hand, I have a situation, well, oh, now my house is empty, and I don't have too much family to feed anymore. Just one son that will come over for lunch, and but he does eat a lot, so that kind of helps. But in any case, like I say, I've been a person that kind of like the outcast of my family, because I was the youngest, but the first to get married, and we moved away from home. We took it on. We took the responsibility of having children, raising them, and nobody helped us do that. We never got any handouts from anybody. Never. I mean, my husband never liked to accept, gifts of money from no matter who it was. But we have learned through our life and through, our Christian friends and things like that, that you have to learn to be humble as well. You have to learn, that there is people and God is going to bring these people into your life, and they are willing to help you or able to help you. Just accept it, just accept it graciously. And I think that's what God would want in any case. So y'all, I was talking in the chat last night. I don't know if anybody's seen, but this lawyer that was appointed, well, that is probably going to be appointed to Chris's case, because the fact that we have an Alabama attorney, and we have to have a new sponsoring attorney since the first attorney, which I do not recommend to anybody in Florida, is Mr. James Burns. Totally compromised Chris's trial. And that was definitely a big thing. So the other thing is that this attorney that they're bringing in, I mean, should I read too much into it? Like, okay, he says, oh, he's a high profile attorney. Okay, so I look it up, and I looked up about this what do you call it? Suitcase murderer, where the wife put her husband in a suitcase when they were drunk or something, and then he ended up dying, and like he was begging her to get out, whatever. But the story is that she went through all these different attorneys, or actually public defenders, okay, like 5 or 6 public defenders, and then she put a letter out there, knowing she put it into the court because she was going to represent herself or whatever, because she kept going through these different attorneys. And by putting this letter into the court, she knew it would become public. And she was is almost like an advertisement for somebody to take her case. And the person that ended up taking her case was this attorney that they're considering for the Florida representative. And his name is, what was it? Tony Henderson. Pretty sure it was Tony Henderson. So if you guys want to look up or chime in on what you think about this, because by looking it up, I also found out that he had some allegations against him back in like 2014, something like that. And but again, FDLE, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, was part of this supposed problem. I have questions when it comes to Florida Department of Law Enforcement because of what they've done to me and my husband. In fact, there's the name that's at the bottom of this law enforcement sensitive Fusion Exchange Bulletin. Those are the names that are on the bottom of Florida Department of Law Enforcement. And not only that, this guy, I guess he was representing, like he was a public defender for this girl when she was younger, and then she put like a letter into the court or something like that. This is the case before the big murder case or whatever it was. That he seemed to be suspended for maybe like a month or something, but I mean, it never flew. Whatever this person was saying, and her disgruntled boyfriend, like all these allegations of sexual abuse of this attorney and his partner attorney or whatever. So, and his last name was Owen. So if you guys want to look that up, like I say, it's Tony Henderson. It would be Orange County, Florida attorney, and let me know what you think, because a lot of times I overthink things, and Let me see. What is Chris saying about this? Batman is Joker. Joker is Batman. The Flash paradox timeline and multiverse stories ties to all different Batman movie stories. Sorry, I'm a nerd. Thank you. It's likely that there's more of people like us out there, but yeah. I mean, with us, it's like, well, Chris grew up reading all the comic books, and all this. So Marvel, you have DC Universe, you've got, oh, I mean, it's just like this to me is my escape. This is my escape from all the crap that's going on around you. I mean, a good movie, some good entertainment. I think it's more than just entertainment. To me, it's really part of my life. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's almost like I can feel like, um, I don't know. It's almost like you can put yourself into the position of this character or whatever it happens to be, and either feel their pain or it's just it's strange. And I think, like, me and Danielle were talking about as well. I think some people have like a sense or I don't know. It's a gift in any ways, and a lot of people that are artistic have this gift as well. So, and that's why I don't understand is why a CPS is so adamant on taking autistic children that have, people with developmental delays. And we know, well, they're taking them because they want more money, but to put them in a situation where they're going to be, with other people of their same level, that's only going to be a digression. I mean, if anybody knows, like, obviously, my two youngest aren't going to become doctors like their brother and sister. I mean, what is anybody ever looked those statistics as how many kids that are in foster care or had been adopted out have been in trouble with the law and become prostitutes, drug addicts. I mean, the list goes on and on. That's not what we produced as parents. And I'm sure many of you guys didn't produce drug addicts or prostitutes in your family. But I mean, again, it seems like the cycle, the cycle of, it's not really the circle of life, because it's almost like a circle of a death sentence, because I mean, how many people have been destroyed by this this government entity that wants and somehow needs control over us. I mean, aren't we free to think and speak as we would like to do? And again, that's always comes back to the same fact. It's always what we're saying. It's what's coming out of our mouth that's bothering you. And if we're putting it up as entertainment on a broadcasting network like YouTube really started out to be, okay? And again, I want to stress that my husband, Chris, never participated in any social media like communication at all. I'm sorry, he's just not like that. If he is, like, let's say, playing a video game with online, it's only going to be with somebody he knows. Okay, he's not going to, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or if when we started doing it, I mean, when YouTube first came out, I don't know, you guys know what year it is. I don't know, but I mean, nobody commented on your post. Nobody, nobody. We never looked to see how many people were looking. We were just doing it because we were doing it, and it was the way that we could, just get stuff out there, just for the fun. We weren't, looking for anything but just having fun. And that's what I mean. It's just like, is that what they want to do, is just stop our fun? Come on, guys, can we have some fun? I mean, let's lighten it up a little bit, right? But truth and reality is, it needs to be said. And a lot of people are doubtful that I've talked to that aren't part of these groups or anything like that. I mean, yeah, we're going to put some letters into Trump and stuff like that, but there have doubts that would work. But I don't know. He's getting into the promises and signing off to the promises that he made, and he's fulfilling those promises. And I just think maybe it's going to be different. But I can tell you the truthfully, though, my kids were taken right before Trump was elected in 2016. So again, you have the end of one administration into a new. So I definitely was putting it out there, and trying to get attention of that administration. But I think a lot of times, like even when you call down the White House or something like that, try to get a good contact. I don't want to spend my time sending these emails and stuff if it's not gonna actually get to the person that you want to see it. And there could be people that compromise that information from getting through, to the president and such. So if you have good people surrounding you, like I think Trump will have, I mean, I love Elon Musk. Somebody else is autistic, and these people that he's talking about bringing in from the Hollywood thing. And that's why I sent a letter out to some people. I'm like, hey, can't we work with that? I mean, you have some heroes from the big screen that are being hired on to this Hollywood office, okay? And you got Mel Gibson, Sylvester Stallone. I mean, Sylvester Stallone has had some tragedy in his life. In fact, his son that died happens to have the same name as my daughter, Sage. So somehow I've always felt like a connection with his movies, shows. I watch it all. I mean, I grew up during that time period where that's the hero, the hero. And Mel Gibson, also the hero. Braveheart, freedom. I mean, this is what we're all talking about, freedom, right? Mel Gibson, he lives for freedom. So let's do it. Let's go into it full force and saying, here we are. We're the patriots that are have been oppressed, and we want to see these freedoms. Like, what do they say? Let freedom reign, liberty and justice for all. And last night, I was reading a letter that I had from Ron Paul, his wife, because when he was running for president, we got to meet Ron Paul. Chris was running for legislator at the same time. I mean, Ron Paul shook the hands of my kids, shook Chris's hand, and then I gave actually Mrs. Paul. She was sitting in the audience there, and I gave her the CD. And I believe this CD was really the start of a lot of our problems. It was called Stupidly. And not only did Chris put this up on YouTube, but we made all these CDs. It was Stupidly. If anybody remembers back during Obama's administration, that he called law enforcement saying that they acted stupidly. So in actuality, this CD was pro law enforcement. They want to say that we're anti law enforcement. No, we're not. We're anti police brutality, and we've made that be known throughout many years. I mean, we're watching what they're doing. I mean, we're gonna just put it out there. But that's what we're anti. Okay, anti abuse and bullying of people. That's what I am. But in any case, this particular, we were just passing it out, sending it off. Like at that time, what was it? Howard Stern. Look what happened with him. But in any case, we're trying to get all of our stuff out there for a long time. But then again, I don't even know why I'm talking about this, guys. What do you think? All right. Nobody wants to come on my show? Come on. Help me out a little bit. Where are you, Danielle? She's probably going back to sleep. ever push a broom to get the rain off the parking lot, it's dry. Ever been ordered to do it when it's raining? Oh yeah, I have. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. You're talking crazy stuff, Chris. And crazy. It's what's crazy about it is true. Anyways, yeah. So I felt a bit of a relief yesterday for this fucking attorney finally doing what they said they would do. I still don't know for certain if they provided this itemized bill, but at least they got the appeal in, right? So, and we didn't give them any more money in order to get that in. I mean, really, it's just a few lines, on a motion to appeal. It's not a big deal, you know. Um, so it's kind of like stressful to have like your husband's and your life in the balance with an attorney. You really don't know too much, you're just like kind of putting it out there. It's hard to trust anybody after we've been through what we have, and there are a lot of trolls out there too. So I mean, that's what makes it nice, I think, with this group that's kind of like we're the misfits, right? They got together and it reminds me of a movie. I'm always like thinking, wow, that reminds me of that movie. You remember the movie Kick-Ass, but it was like the second one, and Jim Carrey was playing a hero, and he's like, okay, guys, we're gonna get all these guys together, all these misfits, and we're gonna go in and we're gonna save these women that were being trafficked. Did anybody see that one? I mean, that to me is like so awesome. And that's what, again, to get back to these heroes that have been our heroes on the big screen, why can't they be our heroes in reality? Okay, to be the ones that go in and save the kids. Jim Carrey is another one that's been talking about all this crap that's been going on in this industry of Hollywood, and how horrible things that are going on. And he knows the truth. That's why he's like, oh well, Jim Carrey's off the deep end. He's talking crazy. Is he? Is he? Or is Alex Jones off the deep end? Is he crazy? Or who else? Who else could we, bring up that has been really shunned for who was that other guy? I never really watched that guy. The one Cat Stevens, is that the right name? But exposing all that P. Diddy stuff. I don't know. What do you guys think about it? I'm not hearing too much about P. Diddy anymore. I mean, I was following that for a while. And that poor girl, Allie, I mean, what about her? She's like putting her life on the line trying to expose this crap that's going on with Child Protective Services. I mean, it's really sad that the people that are trying to do this have to fear for their life. Some people are going to come on the shows with a mask on. Some of us have got the mask off because, at some point, it's just like, you feel like you want to be the hero. You want to be the one that sticks his neck out there. And we get to the point is like, what do we have to lose? Well, a lot of times what we do have to lose is our freedom. But that's the only thing that I have left to lose, because I've lost everything except one of my family members. I can tell you that. So, I mean, I have people that communicate me more now than ever before, and it seems like the family members, my sisters, my brothers, can't count on them. I can't count on my older children that are out in New Hampshire. It's like CPS has ruined my life so deeply. It's amazing. And can you ever think about like how this affects not only you and your husband or whatever, but how it affects siblings, if you have older siblings or whatever, that aren't in the system. and how it affects, your connections with your family. I mean, your brothers, your sisters, I'm talking about your brothers and sisters. Like, are they going to stick by you, or are they just gonna, like my sister would say, Brenda, don't call it trafficking. Why not? That's what it is. Let's put it out there. I know I can see everybody's concern, like, oh, don't get on there, don't be making any videos because of the circumstances. Like, everything that comes out of my mouth seems to be a threat to certain people in Dixie County. And all I can say is, if you don't like the entertainment, change the channel, because all this is for entertainment purposes only. We're trying to help with some support from other victims. I mean, we are survivors. We're survivors of Child Protective Services. We're survivors of being abused and bullied by people that are wearing these police costumes. That's what it is. If you're an officer that's breaking the law and in any way, shape, or form, or know of another officer breaking the law in any way, shape, or form, you, sir, are guilty. And you shouldn't be wearing that uniform. And that's what we thought about an idea a long time ago, that we said, I know somebody else mentioned, like, this should be the case for CPS workers, like, limit their time that they could be in that one certain position. Like, same with law enforcement. If you have somebody that's been in this position for a long time, and then this is going to be more chances of corruption happening, abuse of their authority, and so it's not a good thing. um, as far as, I had law enforcement in my life for a long time, but it's only because my husband was a law enforcement specialist himself. So, I mean, you're taking somebody that knows the law and been a wonderful member of the community, trying to make things better in every way, through advisories on national security issues about, these mass shootings across the country, and, what can we do to stop this from happening. And it's kind of funny because we were doing this before our children were taken, but then I look back at some of his work and I'm like, whoa, this is weird, because he's talking about this even though we had no idea of the real horrors of Child Protective Services. So, I mean, all of our lives we've been trying to protect children, and especially protect our own. And when it's taken out of your control, that's when people start feeling helpless. And then you don't have any support system. You're pretty much out there on your own. And it wasn't until years, years after my rights were terminated, is when I started getting on social media. And all I did was go to Facebook and I typed in CPS. And this is eventually ended up finding people. And I think God will put these people in your life, okay? And it's no coincidence that, excuse me for talking about this, but this is how I found Darren. And it was still when he was doing that Vincent Davis show. And my husband's like, whatever reason, he likes to grab the phone, go sit on the toilet, and he's like, hey, look at this guy. Look at what he's talking about. Give him a call, because I think Darren was saying, yeah, call in. And sure enough, I did. And then it was strange, because I think that was at the end of him wondering if he was going to leave Vincent Davis. They didn't agree, like, on a lot of things or something like that. And believe me, I'm like, I wrote down this guy's name, and I'm like, how do I get a hold of this guy again? And it was literally really hard to figure out what happened to Darren. And then we found him again, and he got his own show going, and that's that story. So, like I say, God's going to put people in your path, and don't ignore that. Like, don't really ignore the people that he's put in front of you, because he's put them there for a reason. And if it's just to help you get through this, or, like, my neighbor. She's a really nice lady, and I've been really upfront and honest with her throughout this. And a lot of people wouldn't want to tell their neighbors all this crap that you've been through, but she's very understanding to it because, again, you're going to find people that have been screwed by the system. And they're very understanding to the situation. And it's sad to say that there's more people that have been screwed by the system than not. Okay. Even somebody like President Trump. He's well. Anyways, and Darren doesn't have any music today, and sometimes that music really it starts to irritate me after a while. But now I'm like, hey, it's too quiet, and I should put my own music in. No, or we can sing. What are we gonna say? Okay, let's do this. This was something again. I think God brought this into my life. We moved into this house in Frierson, Louisiana. What is this? What is the beeping about? We moved into this house in Frierson, Louisiana. They left these beautiful dresser drawers. Oh, he's gonna put the music in there, and inside the drawers, they're so big, nobody wanted to move them. I bet you they're still there after we sold it, but um, this was in there. It had a girl and it had a guy, but it's really the same verses. And Ephesians 6:10 says, "Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." I think, or the wiles of the devil. Okay, that you may understand. It, whoa, I don't know. Sorry, I can't read it, guys. But then he says, having put on the breastplate of righteousness. Okay, you have to stand and stand having girded with your waist of truth. Okay, so we have to do that, guys. We are the warriors, and we have to put on our armor of Christ, the sword of the Spirit. Okay, which is the Word of God. Our oldest son is named Sword because of that very reason. Okay, having shed your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. So in every dressing that you're putting on your body, what they're saying is you're dressing these are your armors of God, even down to your feet. For we do not, what is this? I don't know why this is so hard to read for me. Maybe it's the devil, guys. Being watchful to this end with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints. Above all, taking the shield of faith, with you will be able to quench all the fiery darts of evil. Okay, so that's what we got to do. We got to do this. We got to fire those darts. We got to put on our armor, and the darts. Good Lord, don't anybody twist my words out there with CPS. Whoever likes to, what is that? Poking? It's like a bad poking, the bullying again. But it's all through our words, okay? Our words are our best weapon, and as it was greatly said, the pen is truly mightier than the sword. Come on, guys. All right. Thank y'all for joining. As nobody wants to get up on a Friday morning when it's cold out. Come on, guys. All right. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Tamil. Thanks everybody. And yeah, thanks a lot, Chris, for all the facts that you bring into the chat. I mean, it's really helpful. It helps.
Brenda's sitting by the window pane.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Lost her husband, lost her name. Government's hands, they took her kin, but they'll never take her spirit's grin. CPS came knocking at her door, took her babies, left her sore. But Brenda's heart, it ain't for sale. She'll fight back, she will prevail. Oh, Brenda, keep on rising high. under troubled sky. Life ain't easy, the road's so rough, but love is stronger, love's enough. Empty rooms, memories linger there, echoes of laughter, whispers of care. She plants hope in each day's light. In the darkest hours, she finds her fight. Neighbors pass, they cast their glance. Whispers say she don't stand a chance. But Brenda's dreams, they never fade. In her eyes, the dawn's parade. Sun will shine through clouds and rain. She'll mend the broken, salve the pain. For every loss, there's a new gain. Through every downfall, she'll remain. Sun will shine through clouds and rain. She'll mend the broken, salve the pain. For every loss, there's a new gain. Through every downfall, she'll remain. Sun will shine through clouds and rain. She'll mend the broken, salve the pain.